So at 3, we got Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a little nervous there. A little pause. Kind of scared me.
Pause.
Yeah, no, Guardians 2, man. I've only seen this film 2 times.
I think twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's not a movie I really go back to. Kurt Russell. That's
Kurt
cool.
Russell and Michael Rooker at the end.
And Michael Rooker. That's cool. Yeah, you get the daddy issue movie of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Which it's actually really well done. I mean, listen, man, Michael Rooker I think is a really good actor, very underrated.
Probably the best third act of all. I don't know, maybe of all the Guardians. That's maybe saying something big there, but it's a phenomenal third act.
It's up there. I would definitely say it's up there. Guardians 1 though, the final act, dude, it's so iconic. You know what I mean? Sure. With the Power Stone, them all getting in a circle and stuff. Like, I don't know, but but no, I'm with you, dude. I think third act was beautiful, really well done. The writing is really good. It's just that movie was a little bit boring for me.
Because of the pacing a little bit.
Yeah, maybe pacing issues. I haven't seen it in a while.
They got to the planet and they had to it just took them a while to find Kurt. Then they finally had to figure out Kurt was his dad. And then you have Gamora and Nebula doing that whole thing, which was actually very entertaining.
No, that was, it's almost like they need to focus more on that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care about the ego stuff at all. You know what I mean? Why not kind of zone in on this really cool relationship between Gamora and Nebula, which is big in the comics? So why not kind of dive into that? Especially when you're Guardians 2, you were really leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, right?
Yeah.
I think that was 2017, right? Yeah, right before. So why not lean into that a little bit? I don't know. I feel like they should have played with that a little bit more. But of course, I mean, like you said, bro, that it kind of ended up in a really good third act sequence for sure. With Ego and the way he died, it was messed up, but pretty cool stuff.
And I love the twist they did with his character.
Yeah,
he was so sweet at the beginning, and then he was like, "Well, I never loved your mother." Yeah. Just so nonchalant. I was like, motherfucker, what?
Yeah, no, I think everybody was like, "What's going on?" Like it was really well done.
Dude?
Yeah. No, I like that for sure. But yeah, you do learn a lot more about Star-Lord. This was Star-Lord's movie, I would say.
Yes.
In a sense, and I did appreciate that. And then he just kind of decided to screw it all up with Endgame. Don't ask me why.
God,
Which, by the way,
said it in this film.
Yeah, he's like, what do you say, dude?
I almost destroyed half the universe.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, at least you're accepting it.
I was so pissed, bro. I was like, I remember saying I'm not watching Guardians 3. I was mad. I think everybody was, dude. It's like, why, dude? What are you doing? Like, come on, man. But no, but yeah, he was great in this. I mean, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, did a really good job. We get kind of fat Star-Lord.
Fat Star-Lord, chunky Star-Lord.
Chunky Star-Lord, you know what I mean? He put on some pounds, some donuts.
Yeah.
And like you said, they kind of play around with that, which is really funny.
Yeah, because he wasn't fat. It's just like
no.
But you can tell he probably didn't have a raging six-pack like he did in the first one.
Yeah. No, first one he was ripped. And I remember that transformation.
It's weird his body has progressed. It was the first one he was ripped, second one he was a little out of shape, and this one he just looks like a fucking unit, dude.
He's buff, dude. He's just huge.
Buff, yeah.
No, he ain't playing around. But no, it was wild.
Probably
I remember
washboard abs
because he was a big dude in Parks and Rec. He was a big boy.
Dude,
and then
the comeback joke, that will be one of my favorite scenes of Chris Pratt.
She had come on her back, right? Yeah.
Dude, fucking improv hilarious, dude. The guy right there for that.
Dude, did you see that clip that they have in the James Gunn interview where they're talking about the fake body? And they're like, and they're like, he's like, I used to have the fake body in my office all the time, and people would come in and scream, and he was like, what and scream? What
would they do?
What and scream?
Oh god,
dude, it took James Gunn probably a solid 30 seconds and a couple of times of Chris saying it over and over, and then they started dying. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. We saw a little bit of old Chris Pratt, which was gold, But yeah, no, dude. Parks and Rec, Chris, man, he was a big boy, and then seeing that transformation, man, into Guardians, it was a big thing. People were really surprised about it, but yeah, no, good film. Had a really good time with it. Groot, bro, Groot,
Groot,
little Groot. Baby Groot.
Yeah, Groot was Groot was adorable.
dude.
He was like the Grogu of like Marvel for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. No, he
He was
was.
like
He
Baby
was.
Yoda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. He almost carried this movie. And I'm not gonna lie. Like from the
dude, he
opening
did.
scene with him dancing and it, like it was just it's gold, bro. You
Yeah,
know. And he was
yeah.
like he didn't even help.
Dude, you're
Really, he was
right.
just
He was
there.
so cool in that beginning
He's
montage.
just, you know what I mean, dancing, and they're like destroying the thing in the back. Yeah, it was funny, dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and this movie also sets up the third movie with Adam Warlock. You know what I mean?
Very well.
And with the gold, I forgot that. What's their name of their
Gold
people?
people.
Yeah, the gold people, whatever they are.
We're gonna call them the gold people.
The gold people. Which is why maybe they didn't lean too much into it. Which is like I
Yeah.
think well, I don't think we talked about that in the review, but that is one thing I was kind of thinking about when we first walked out. I think we talked about that. Or I told you I was like, wish they would have leaned more into the
Or did
Adam
a little
Warlock
bit more
stuff.
with it.
Yeah, but I guess you're now that I'm thinking about it though, with the Guardians too, they kind of did
They did.
play with that a
Yeah,
lot.
I
Excuse me, play with
guess.
that a lot. I guess, man.
Was that the one?
Guess
Was Jeff Goldblum in that one, or was he only in like Endgame and stuff?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
He was only in uh
Endgame.
Ragnarok, right?
Oh, it was Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah.
That's what it
That's
was.
what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. He's pretty good too. That was
Yeah,
great.
no, he
That
is
was
pretty
great.
fire, dude.
But
I took a picture from a statue one time. No, I was trying to think 'cause there's like I really enjoyed the like the two things I really love about Guardians 2 are the characters and
soundtrack,
the soundtrack.
dude, beautiful.
Dude, the soundtrack carries.
So well done. And like
Could
I
have
said,
gone for an Oscar, but
it,
it's like it's obviously real songs.
yeah,
But
no, and it puts it up like you know what we could do as well, Brayden. We can kind of give our like ranking on a scale of 1 to 10 as well with these
okay,
other couple too, because we're probably not going to rank them or review them by themselves.
yeah,
But yeah, no, and that almost took it up a whole point for me. Like
yeah.
just the soundtrack alone, you sit there, it's such a vibe, dude. I've never played it, just like the entire album, the soundtrack
Yeah, in
album.
high school, I would drive to school and go home playing that shit, bro.
Really,
Dude, I love the soundtrack.
it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it brings up a whole point. This movie overall, dude, for me, it's probably I would say probably like a 8.4. Which I'm gonna go with.
I would say, I would say it's a 9 on the dot.
Nine on
I
the.
love
I appreciate
Guardians.
that.
Like Guardians is my favorite genre or like thing from Marvel. I
Yeah,
think Spider-Man's a close second.
trilogy wise.
Trilogy wise,
Yeah,
yeah. Like, dude, fucking awesome, bro.
yeah,
So for me, these films are super dope, but I would give it like a nine on the dot or an
I respect
8.9.
that. Yeah,
I really like it, so I'll give it a
yeah.
9.
No, do it, dude.
I really
So
like it, so I'll give it a 9.
it's good for you, bro. And then yeah, for I think our second movie on the list, we have Guardians 3.
Yes.
Which I think is we already kind of talked about it, but just kind of to talk about it again. I mean, just really well done. Did what it needed to do. Just I enjoyed it. I thought it was executed really well. Like I said, pretty much everything we already talked about. I think it has some of the best cinematography, some of the best action. Soundtrack is once again really well done. Not as good as the other two,
It fit
but
perfectly for the film.
right. But
Not
yeah,
as
I enjoyed it.
as lively and eventful as the other ones, but
Yeah,
what I think this film has over the other two is that grounded, serious feel. It has a little bit more of approach of that than the other films, and it's like I said, it was just really cool to see the resolution of all of our like main characters. You know what I mean? The reason because obviously you guys know what number one is. The reason it doesn't beat Guardians 1 for me as being number one is that movie, dude, was just so freaking iconic when it came out. Like that, we've never seen the galaxy like that. We've never seen a group of characters. We have seen the Avengers, but they were serious. These guys are played by the rules. They're human. Like these guys are. There's Drax, the knucklehead. Then you have Rocket, the slimy raccoon. You have Star-Lord, the egotistical, nerdy leader. It's you never got to see this, and the names they brought, like Sylvester, Michael Rooker, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel playing these guys,
yeah.
Batista, like they brought a powerhouse of a crew, and the soundtrack was amazing. I still debate if I like it better than the second one. I still think the second one is like maybe a hair better, but they're very equal for me. Like I feel like they have very similar vibes to them, and I go back and forth and I listen to both of them. I actually probably listen to the Guardians one more, But Guardians 2 is just, dude, the songs were perfect for what they did.
No, I'm with you, dude. I mean, yeah, I think I really want to dive into the first one. We can kind of just do our rating, or we already did a rating for the third one. Screw it. Let's go to the first.
Yeah, let's go to the first.
Yeah, the number one list,
you guys
baby.
Get the gist. Go watch the whole hour we just talked about the third one.
Man. But no, dude. So one thing I really liked what you said is that we've never seen the galaxy like that before, and I think that's why Guardians 1 is so far ahead on like it's in my top 10 for Marvel movies, and why I appreciated it so much more than the other two.
That because one, I feel like I go to say it's my top 5. I vouch for that movie. I vouch for.
We need to do we need to do a ranking of the Marvel movies.
Like Marvel movies, we should do the whole episode on that.
Yeah, let 100%. Yeah, we could do a tier list, and I'll set it up where we kind of see both our faces and have the tier list behind it. Let's do it, dude. I'm down for it, but yeah, I think actually I might have done that.
Really?
I think I did it, but we'll do it together. Screw it. We'll do it together.
We'll do it together
for the pod. Bro. Yeah. Let's do it together, man. My opinions might change a little bit. Guardians 3 is new. But no, so yeah, I think I really like that you said that because it was really fresh and it's something we've never seen before.
Super fresh.
And it was almost wild. Like it was really weird and kind of like, the different, colored people, like little minions running around, you know what I'm saying? Like
even the characters, people. Like they were nothing like how Iron Man and Cap and Hawkeye are.
It was so out there, but like it was almost so fresh and different that I appreciated it.
Yeah.
But then when you make more movies out of it, they got weirder and weirder to the point where like I felt like they were just wanting to be weird. Well, and so I think maybe that's what kind of threw me off.
You know what just I thought of that like is a really big thing with the first movie, and I feel like that's kind of like it's not the bad thing. In Guardians 1, they don't feel like heroes like the Avengers are. They're not. Like, they're bad people when you really think about it. Like, they're not bad people. But, yeah, they're anti-heroes. And so they have that grunge. They don't play by the rules. Like, they don't care, like, what you think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And over the films, as they actually started to become real heroes, I feel like that maybe did dissipate a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just that grungy feel. You know what I mean?
Sure. Maybe you might be right on that, dude. Yeah,
what made it feel so fresh, you know what I mean?
True. And then I think also because there's so much good stuff in it, like the Reality Stone thing. I mean, that movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, is what really led up to Infinity War. Like that's the movie. I mean, we see Thanos, I believe, for the first, or is it? No, sorry, second time. Because we saw him. No, we saw him first time in I think it was Age of Ultron, the post credit.
Age of Ultron, yes.
Yeah. But then we really got to see him here. I think Age of Ultron, you just saw him turn in his chair.
And when he was like blue, you know, he was
how he different looked. Actor. Yeah, it was all different. I think this is also a different actor. I don't think it was what's his name? It wasn't Josh Brolin here either. He came in.
He at least looked a little similar.
Yeah. No, he's a little more purple. You know what I mean? A little bit dark, like a darker purple, and then a little bit better of a voice.
Not fucking blue, dude.
That was so good, dude. To see him change. Hey, man, you know what I mean? He's just. That he's getting some sun, baby. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, baby. Getting some sun.
But, got the tan in there.
he's an alien, bro. He needs it. But no, and you really got to see him talk in this one, and you're like, and this just hyped everybody up, dude. You're like, oh my god, it's about to happen. We're about to see Thanos on the big screen and like be the main villain in a movie. And he was almost pretty much the big villain in this one as well. I mean, he's the one that kind of made Ronan do what he did.
You're making such a good point because there's like it's that idea of it being fresh. Like it was so new, we didn't know anything yet. You know what I mean? And it's like these guys are discovering it as we are. You know what I mean? Right. At this point, we've already been through it and back. Like we know the arc's over. We know that this is the end of the arc. Beginning, we didn't even know there was an arc coming. We didn't know that this was all planned. We just thought they were movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one ever thought when you watched the Guardians in movies for the first time that we're like, these guys are going to be with the Avengers. Like, of course, people were like, oh, we want it. But nobody was sitting there like, oh, that's Marvel's plan.
Yeah.
Marvel's plan is to have the Thor is going to end up with them in their movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and I don't think they expected, I don't think Marvel themselves expected the movie to be as big as it was. And maybe after they saw like the first cut, they were like, oh, I really like this. But like, and that's what I appreciate so much about it, man. We've never seen a movie like this ever. The first Guardians. We've never seen a movie like as weird and out there like that as we've ever seen. James Gunn, the way he was able to bring that to life without any what's what I'm looking for? Like any sketch, I guess, or anything to kind of go off of, I guess is the best way to put it. it's unreal that he made it like work so well as he did.
Yeah.
The CGI is incredible. The storytelling is awesome. The characters are really well done. The character development in that movie alone is really well done. The way that it set up the trilogy that he definitely wasn't given right away. He had to earn that trilogy. And the way that he set it up so well, but while making a movie good enough on its own that it got that trilogy is unreal. And I think Guardians 3, from what it looks like, it's very unanimous. But like I think Guardians, the first one, is in everybody's top 10, at least top 8.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Man. Like I think everybody loves this film for what it is. It's hilarious. It's really well done. And yeah, it's something we've never seen before.
And it's cool because you got to see all the characters at a very emotional point. Like Gamora from the first one feels more like she does in the third one than she does in the second one. You know what I mean?
Right. Because sure.
They kind of like went back to that emotional. Like she was emotional. Like Drax was just Drax the Destroyer. Rocket was like a piss drunk raccoon.
Yeah.
Star-Lord wasn't really like the leader. He was just trying to like figure it all out. Or people took him serious, but not as serious as they do now.
Dude, it's so funny. You brought up the Gamora or like the Drax thing and all that. I really enjoyed this Rocket, and we got this Rocket in Guardians 2 and Guardians 3, but like in the first movie, he was just that like just total jerk, which I feel like we kind of missed in the second and third movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I love the backstory. I'm not saying I don't like that, but like, just I don't know, his like nastiness and like his demeanor was so great in the first one. We kind of lost that with the more that we knew about him. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
And even I thought Star-Lord's been great. But Drax as well. I think Drax, he's gotten better with his comedy. I do like the Drax in the newer movies than I do in the first one. The first movie, he was just kind of he was funny. But like he was also like more of a serious kind of guy, you know. And the second and third movie, they really started like heavily leaning into the comedy side of things, especially the third one, which I liked that. I thought it was really well done. I think his character development regarding that has done really well.
It has been done really well.
But yeah, no, it was overall a really fun film. Love the cinematography for it being the first of its kind. It was really well done. I think that's once again a testament to James Gunn and the and Kevin Feige and all of them for creating this. You know what I mean? This incredible cinematic universe. Really, from that film, if you think about it, it's what led everything to what it is now.
That's so crazy to think about. Stepping stone. That's crazy. So
crazy. So yeah, let's do our rating for it, dude. What do you rate Guardians 1?
To be honest, it's gonna be super high, but it is. I'll admit, this is me personally. Everyone has a favorite. Guardians 1 is my favorite Marvel movie, probably of all time.
Oh, wow.
That for me. Yeah. For me, it's like a 9.7, 9.8. Do I think it's the best Marvel movie of all time? I don't know. Like, it's so hard for me, and this could be so completely like you know. I just think of this when you think of a picture perfect movie, like. If you combine Infinity War Endgame, it's that. Like, that is probably the perfect superhero movie where you get a little taste of everybody and it's just this giant expanding story, right? But for me as a person, Guardians 1, dude, changed my life, made me really love Marvel. They're my favorite group. I love their soundtrack over all the other ones. So it's probably gonna be a 9.7, 9.8 for me.
I like that.
I'm basing ranking this off superhero movies as well.
Yeah.
I had some people, bro. Someone was like, yo, like, you're going to give it a 9.6? Like, what about, like, stuff like Interstellar? I'm like, dog, you're taking it so out.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Literal.
No, you can't do that. No.
I'll even compare, like, DC movies and stuff. But, like, for me, it's freaking, it's up there. It's my movie. You know
for
what I mean?
a Marvel movie, it's a 9.6 for me. I think it's really well done. It's really, really well done. Well done. And like I said, it just had that freshness to it that a lot of first movies do in a trilogy. We talk about this. I'm a purist, right? I usually like the first entries in franchises and in TV series because.
But you make a very good reason. You know what I mean?
And
it's not just some stupid shit. You know what I mean? It actually makes sense.
And I love the character development throughout the franchise, but a lot of times too, the character development's not great, and they ruin it.
And I mean, I think the biggest thing that you say about that is like the problem with expanding is now you're like. What keeps us really liking that and interested is the fact we don't know and we're assuming and we're creating our own story. But then once you make a story and it's not what we envision in our head, it's just like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like it kind of takes it away. So
it's an expectation thing. You know what I mean? And what you kind of want to get out of it. And also too, like you like movies that leave you wanting more.
Yeah.
And when you reveal so much about a character and about a story, you can only want so much more. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, oh, cool. And that's kind of what the third movie was for me. I loved it. You guys seen I ranked it pretty high up. But it's just, once again, like, it just, we kind of already know so much about these characters, and like, I don't know, this first movie was just perfect. I really, really enjoyed it, dude. I had a good time with it. But yeah, there's our ranking, man. But we have the same exact ranking, which is great. Bottom is Guardians 2, second is Guardians 3, and first is Guardians 1.
And
Brayden's kind of flipping a little bit with the first and second, he said.
But I think I would probably put one. One is just so iconic for me. Like,
if you go back and rewatch it, you might be like, yeah, this is
easily, yeah. No, because I was seeing clips, and that's where it's like, it's been like tickling my mind. You know what I mean? And that's why I want to hear what other people think. I want to hear if it really is just us that thinks like. We're not saying it's the worst movie, but like I don't think the third is technically the best in my opinion.